Hey everyone, Matt here from Underground Experience. Today I'm interviewing away game. We have Dom, Mike, and Justin.
Hey
Uh,
Matt,
how's your day going, guys?
pretty good. We're all pretty busy. I was just at work. I'm a substitute teacher.
I
This
had
guy took an exam.
school. I had an exam today.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah.
I was also at work.
I got you. All right, we'll start off with a pretty interesting question. Where does the name away game come from? Because as a sports fan, I really like it, and it's just kind of like a cool name. So where did that come from?
So, there's a lovely long and storied history with this. First of all, and this ties into the name very nicely ties into sort of our history as a band to begin with. We all met and started playing music together in our high school marching band at Egg Harbor Township High School in beautiful Jersey. And that's where we kind of got our start. And we played in outside of that, we played in like bands under many different monikers for a little while. For a while we were known as the Spins. There's another band in New Jersey called the Spins. And so to make a long story short, we had to change that name. We tried doing South Jersey Spins, and that worked for a while. But still. And so only very recently did we stumble upon away game, and we've definitely grown a lot comfortable with it. I think we kind of like it better than the Spins to begin with anyways.
I like it a lot better than the Spins too. I think it's just cool. It has there's like American football, modern baseball, and away game like that. That's kind of that's what it just sounds like one of those. And you guys kind of sound a little bit like this band, so I think that's just perfect. It's just awesome.
That's kind of
That's a great compliment.
Is there anything else you wanted to add on that story side of things? Did I miss anything?
Away games are fun. Yeah. Pep band
Right.
was fun. Away games were like the fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you could just like mess around and like not really care about being good at music.
Yeah, for any of the uninitiated at home, if you don't know about the cult of marching band, I know home show have to play like your full on like performance, with all the drill on the field, but then like Justin said, at away games, it's only just fun. Like half the band has to come anyway. It's usually like a much smaller group. The drum line always had to come.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of why, like, if we have to go into this fucking thing and it has to be compulsory, we might as well make it stupid and silly and like not, and just, we can play like dog shit, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because like no one knows you at this other high school.
I got you.
There's nothing at stake. You might as well just fuck around. And we liked that attitude.
That's a cool attitude. Kind of not punk, but like a little punk, a little bit like that. A little kind of like, I don't really give a shit, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes you got to have fun, and especially when you're making music. When you're making music, you should be having fun. So I think that's really cool.
Very true.
Very true.
My next question is, what are some of your guys' biggest inspirations? I've heard a lot of when I listen to your music, I hear a lot of like Car Seat Headrests, Backseat Lovers, a lot of those kind of indie groups, but like a hint of math rock kind of thrown into it, especially the riffs. So, what do you guys are those some of your biggest inspirations, or what are?
You want to like go down the line?
It's all different.
It's
That's
all
like the
very
one.
Yeah, I got you. No problem.
Yeah, you can start.
I do like the Backseat Lovers for sure. I kind of listen to Car Seat Headrest in passing, but I would say I'm definitely into like Bombay Bicycle Club. I love Always. I love Snail Mail, and I'm definitely into like the emo stuff we said like recently, like maybe like within the past like 3 years.
Cool.
Definitely heavy into like modern baseball, Marietta, the Front Bottoms, like all those emo classics. Marvin, all them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a wild ride down the line here. It's nice because we also all like contribute songwriting credits, so like this also like ties into the eclectic sort of nature of things, because literally everybody that Justin just mentioned, I don't listen to like any of them.
No.
That's how you get the best music though, because you get everyone's music taste merged together in this weird amalgamation, and it just sounds cool. So that's
this guy gets it. But that's exactly so. For me, like I'm on record. Good choice of shirt today. I'm a huge Beatles fan.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And not to be like, I don't know, brag or something, but this is like one of 1,000 apparently. It's like the magical mystery tour shirt. Pretty cool, but it's from my dad, so I gotta give him credit. But yeah, thanks for knowing the shirt. I appreciate it.
You got that. But like it's heavy on the Beatles stuff because like for me, like it's like if I had to pick one of those that themselves represented such a very diverse array of songwriting genres and talents, I was, and it's the greatest band of all time, arguably.
Yeah.
So why, might as well pick the best. But besides that, like if I had to pick, bands I feel like are more or less around today, or maybe more relevant today. I also really like Blink-182, and I think that's where a lot of us had a bit of a touchstone where we could meet up and like something that we can all kind of agree upon inspiration. And I remember I was thinking just earlier today about like other bands that I liked, and I realized I didn't tell you guys this earlier, but like I feel like I have a weird thing with just bands that just don't exist anymore. I really liked Fun,
me too.
the indie pop band Fun. They're not a thing anymore. We all liked Alabama Shakes too. That was like one of the first songs we ever played together. Was Alabama Shakes, "Give Me All Your Love." They're not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And shout out to queercore band Power Bottom. They're problematic now, but they're not a thing anymore.
Love the name. Love the name.
Yeah, no, it's a good name, but I'm just like all my tastes are like kind of like not around anymore, which is itself kind of interesting. But it's the Beatles is the most singular kind of thing. Anything of that
Yeah.
60s pop kind of era.
I would say my influences are probably more of like the punk variety, kind of like the heavier stuff.
Cool.
And around like high school, I kind of started listening to like less heavy stuff. One of my favorite bands is probably A Day to Remember. So just like, I'm into like that kind of stuff. I want to say another huge band I like is Pup. They're pretty good. I listen to a lot of like the Justin's getting me onto some stuff like Mom Jeans and like
Yeah.
all the
I can totally hear some of that in your sounds for sure. So my next question is, now with all those inspirations, how does that amalgamation come about? Like, how does all this turn into a way game? And if you had to sell that to somebody, what would you say? Like, if you need to like get new people onto you, like you got some time to do that. So what would you say?
I would say honestly, I feel like even with like our own individual like songwriting techniques, like each song is kind of like pretty different from one another. Even like I feel like Mike's songs, he could like write like a really like 60s pop song and then like write like a really like 80s dance disco song and like do all these different things. So I would say we're all just like really interested in just pushing our creativity, and whatever happens during like a songwriting session, we kind of like try to stick to that vibe, I guess, for that song.
Cool.
I'll add that I think that very importantly, I think I was also like I'll touch back to the whole marching band side of things. I think like it that is like our roots, and it continues to influence everything we do creatively. Which is that I think what unites all of us is that we have, through all the high school marching band stuff, like we are adept and used to and like playing just a variety of things. Like in high school, it's like here's the show this year, just play it. You know what I mean? Like whether or not you like what the music is or not, like you got to go and just do it. And learn to love it and whatever. But like we like everybody's music here. What I'm saying is that like it's no matter what the style is, like we're all very good at just like rolling with whatever is presented to each one of us. And furthermore, the fact that like those songwriting kind of process of us, we kind of each kind of develop it on our own and then present it to the group, and more or less say, hey, can you play this? Can you play that? And again, it's like other bands that might be more unusual, but since we've grown up really like in that environment, just like here's the sheet music almost. We're able to go to town, not have any problem, no questions asked kind of thing, and yet still like let those moments of individual influence kind of break its way through. And I think that's a lot of the good energy that kind of describes our songs.
That's cool. I really like that, because if you play a bunch of different kind of stuff, you're going to get a bunch of different fans, which is cool, from all over the place. And also that it provides for a really healthy band relationship, unlike the Beatles, where basically you're willing to not just do stuff that you want to do, but do stuff that your fellow bandmate wants to do. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. So that's a cool way to sell your band. I like that. Nice. Okay. My next question is if you guys had to pick a favorite song off anything, the EP or the single Cemetery or the acoustic Cemetery, what would you choose? What's your favorite song you guys put out so far?
Bro.
You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna give good promotional answer. The stuff that we haven't released yet.
Ooh.
On the way.
Well, that leads into my next question, which is how is that going? Recording your second EP. Second EP, right?
Second something.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
It's going well. We like kind of just got out of like a writing phase, which is like always this really cool, like floating creative
Yeah, for sure.
that we like to create. And I think out of that, at least me personally, I just tried to get like really personal, and I just like wanted people to feel what I was feeling. So I hope that comes across.
That's awesome. I'm sure it does.
Yeah, that's what I thought was important to me, at least. So it's just trying to be like really personal and like, yeah, just really like specific about what I was going through. So.
Yeah, that's a really beautiful thing that you're able to express yourself like that, because some people it's really difficult, but if you can do that and write it and have the world see it and be proud of it, that's a really amazing thing. So yeah.
I don't know if I did it effectively. We'll see.
I'll join, Justin. I was like, yeah, the writing process has been very nice. We took like a sort of dedicated time for once. I know for me, like I'm just always like freaking like I have a whole backlog of stuff, and for me, with all the new stuff we're doing, I think like if I had to describe my own output, I think I'm definitely trying to not bounce around so much a little bit, because like if like I'll plug my solo stuff. Go check out my solo stuff. But if you want a whole freaking like eclectic hodgepodge of just utter nonsense, that's my solo stuff. Where it's just like it's not the same genre song to song, very much like the Beatles. But for this one, I think I was trying to build off of like like a lot of what Dom and Justin, they're very good at kind of like inhabiting like one kind of sound and really like just being like kind of exploring it fully. I kind of just tend to go bounce, like Justin described, like one song, a different song, completely different sounds. I wanted to try to stay in one vaguely indie groove for a little bit with songs like Second. You'll know what these songs are later on. Second Grade, cool. And it never, et cetera, et cetera. But just like, and that's been fun. That's been a nice change of pace for me.
Nice. How has been touring or going around South Jersey with your shows?
Man, it's been really fun. I don't know if I'd call it touring.
Okay, that's just what it says in your Spotify. So
we'll go right.
Okay.
We have some shows coming up. I would say this summer was like pretty much like our first time like gigging as like I mean before the Spins, but like as away game, and it was like really fun. And I think like after that, it was like a whole summer of kind of just like gigging almost like nonstop, like almost like every other week we would just like gig. And I feel like after that, when we were like in our writing phase, I feel like Mike and I, we like sat down and we were like, if you think about it, we like did like more than like 17 to like 19
shows. I remember when
you
told me that.
Crazy. Yeah. That's really good.
It was just really dope. It's just like fun to just jam with like other really talented people.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, it was just super fun.
Also, like the people at the shows, not just the people playing, but like the people that are supporting us and the other artists are like, it's always a wonderful cast of characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cast. Yeah.
That's so cool. My next question is, how is a away game concert like? Like, what is the experience? What's the vibes that we're getting?
Man.
It heavily depends on the venues, I think.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, really, because it's just like like there's been times there's been a away game concert we're playing at like a bar or something, and like that's like more of a patron thing. But like I'll shout out Radstand up in South Jersey. We have a show with them in a couple of weeks. They go fucking crazy, and it's a lot of fun. I think like since like we just said, we've been kind of doing more like the house shore tour, so to speak, of the area. They're all very much house show kind of shows, and that's a lot of fun. I think what we enjoy a lot about doing shows is that like trying to kind of handle both sides of the equation, where like, you know, like if it's like a house show, it can be a lot of, you know, you can just fucking go wild, and you can play like shit, and like it'll still be a fun time, and that's fun. But I think also like I think we still like again, from the marching band DNA, we still always approach this performance like very much like it's a performance. You know, like there's a indivisible judge looking over our shoulders, in a way that like you know, we still like try to like progress each time and like, you know, put on a better show, regardless of the audience at whatever different venue we're playing. So it's hard to pin it down succinctly, but you know, like I think if I describe the aura of a show, I mean, we've been on bills with like random ass like hardcore acts that are not the same sound of us, but we still get a good reaction.
Yeah.
and that's something that I enjoy a lot. Is that like we can kind of hold our
Do they
own.
mosh to your music?
Yes.
Surprisingly.
That's so cool.
Wild.
It's pretty wild. Yeah. Didn't think that would happen.
Yeah, it's welcomed. We
For sure.
keep
That's
on keeping.
awesome. All right, next let's talk about your lyrics and the meanings behind the song. So what are some of the meanings behind the songs that you put out on your EP and Cemetery?
Oh man. I guess we could start with Cemetery. I guess just in short, and the gist of the song, or I guess one theme, is like kind of going like overcoming a hump in your life, and thinking that like everything will be okay from now on, but realizing life kind of doesn't work like that, and you're gonna always face adversity no matter what point in your life you are, and it's kind of reminiscing about like the sweeter times and simpler times, and missing those days. So I guess that's one theme. The lyrics are like kind of vague, so I guess other people can pull like other themes out from it, but that's what I take away from the song.
That's cool. Yeah, I love when we talked about this a little bit in my last interview of Funny Revenge, but lyrics, or we talked more about it in Aberdeen actually, lyrics where people can pull their own meaning from them are sometimes the most beautiful written songs. So yeah, but it's always cool if you have a meaning. So
For sure.
I'll double on that with some of my own songs. Like Justin and I talk about this week when we compare like lyrics with one another. It's just like Justin's very good at telling stories with his songs. I'll compliment my friend too. Thanks.
Happy Valentine's Day.
happy Valentine's Day, guys.
But what I feel like whenever I look back at my own lyrics for my songs, I'll use "Stay" as an example. Off of the 449 EP. Evocative is the word I use because they're very vague. They're very vague. I feel like they're even more vague. But I like that a lot because I agree with what you said about like there's something about those sort of lyrics like, you know, you can then I feel like that makes it the most maximally possible for someone out there to be like, oh yeah, I relate to this. Because "Stay" is kind of one of the songs Justin described as being like a sort of dancey tune. And I like it a lot. I like that's like I wrote it because it's kind of a song about like I want it to be like when you like sort of lock eyes across the room sort of number, and you're like, hey, I don't know you, you don't know me, but like let's make something happen. Sort of thing.
Let's make something happen. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, "Stay" is actually probably my favorite of the EP. I really like "Stay."
I think thank you.
I like Stay too. And Kennedy Park. Sorry.
What is that like a
Segue.
Could be a segue.
So I guess the only lyrics I've really written were for Kennedy Park. We used a lot of samples for the title track 449, which there's a whole thing with that. But as far as Kennedy Park goes, it's, you know, it's about like me and my friends kind of doing some stuff we probably shouldn't have been doing.
That's fair.
It's kind of like the whole thing is like, you know, you're doing it, you're having fun, but like I don't even know how to put this into words.
Make sure this doesn't border on the line of criminal confession, because that's not really what we're looking for in an interview. No,
That's a real story. That's a good way to explain it.
I was kind of like, I guess like it's just, part of it is just like, you know, that at some point like these fun times are going to end, and so like there's like a little bit of that in the lyrics, but like I probably didn't convey it too well.
No, that's fair. Are you kidding me? No,
This
that
guy.
is fair.
This guy.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's about yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that wraps up our interview. So it's been great talking to you guys. They're a great band, Away Game. Check them out on Spotify, Apple Music, all those platforms. They have a new EP in the works. Really excited for that to come out. But right now they have an EP out and a single, Cemetery. I really like it. It's really cool. It's actually on the Underground Experience playlist, which is linked in my links. So if you want to check that out, go check that out. Go check them out. Check out my Instagram. And with that, that's been our interview. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Matt. Take care.
Have a good
Yeah.
time.